Bam. Yo, what's up, Facebook and YouTube world? It's your boy, your cousin, your friend, your brother, your favorite podcast guru, coming at you with another Rack City 314 podcast on 4/25/2020. Let's get this thing started. Wow. Thanks for tuning in with me today. I really, greatly appreciate it. You all mean so much to me. Yes, y'all do. I think y'all just like hearing me say that. But y'all really do. You and you, all of you, in Facebook world and YouTube world. First thing first, before we get this podcast started out, check your boy out on both platforms. On Facebook, go on over to Rack City 314. It's easy to find. Go in there, like the page, you know what I'm saying? View some videos if you got some time, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, comment, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're on the YouTube, you want to go check me out on YouTube, go over there, like, subscribe on the page, share some videos, comment, do whatever you got to do. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the live shows. I really appreciate it when you guys do check in. It means the world to me. Yes, it does. All right. Now, just to give you all a update, let's try to do this once a week, give y'all a weekly update. Some people have hit me up on the inbox asking about young Moses. And if you don't know who young Moses is the egg that I found while I was fishing. This is the baby pelican egg. He's still my baby, or she, whatever it is. I'm just hoping it's a pelican egg, but I want to say it is. So, baby pelican egg is doing very well. Smells great. Gave him a bath some days ago. You know, he's a real black pelican bird. It does not like to get saturated a lot. You know what I'm saying? It likes to spread it out during this corona time. So this is my baby pelican egg. I love you so much, my son. Yes, I do. We're trying to keep him warm. Been keeping him in this little bed. If you all want to see the bed, it's a nice little Serta mattress that it can just be inserted in. I love my little guy. Doing very well over here. I'm gonna just keep my hand on top of him, keep him warm. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to do. And if you all are wondering the future plans for baby Moses pelican egg, I'm going to take baby Moses pelican egg once it hatches, and I'm going to teach it how to swim. I'm going to buy a little tiny fish for it from the store, and I'm going to get it a nice little kiddie pool so it can float around in and do its own hunting. I'm going to teach it how to hunt and all of that stuff. Then I'm just going to release it one day, like take it to the river and let it rejoin with one of my viewers said I should just cook the egg. That is not going to happen. This would probably be kind of gross, but I'm pretty sure baby pelican Moses is definitely going to be great at doing what it does best. I really do thank it for providing me happiness. I also have about 24 baby worms. Well, they're not babies. I've had them for some months now. I've been growing them and reproducing them, keeping them clean. As you know, worms, those of you who do have worms that you are collecting for your fishing trips and stuff like that, you definitely have to be careful of E. coli because that is something that they push out, because they come back and they harvest off of it, eat it, stuff like that. So it is something that you do have to be careful of. Make sure you have a very clean environment that the worms don't get sick and get any type of bacteria, infections, and things of that nature because it's very important. You want to have clean bait when you're fishing. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important. So those of you that are doing it probably want to know what I'm using for my worms. I'm using like scrap vegetables, scrap fruit. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep them with apples because apples kind of dry out pretty good. And use spinach. Spinach kind of dries out good as well. And eggshells, crumbled up leaves, and the milk carton. I mean, not the milk carton, but the egg cartons that are biodegradable, not the foam kind. those egg cartons that are biodegradable, you wet them up and then take it, tear it up, stuff like that. Those are good to use. They like to eat that type of stuff and use it as bedding. So it's very, very important if you're a fisherman to try to produce your own bait. Keeps you from having to buy worms. And then when I see people that are digging and stuff like that in their yard, planting flowers, I also try to go and try to help them out, get some of those worms, even though it's good to have them. They do a lot of reproduction. Fun fact, a worm can live up to 10 years, all right? And I would say anywhere from 6 to 10 years. And due to our elements and things of outside, different predators, things of that nature, they really only see somewhere from 1 to 2 years due to those facts. But the deeper you go on the dig and things of that nature, the longer ones that you see, they're real fat and long. You know, they've been down there for some years. So uh, very, very interesting facts about worms. I love caring for living things. It makes me feel good, you know. So I'm going to get right into some information for today. Quick note: please check on the elderly. You know, they still have been locked down and things of that nature. A phone call is good. Those that are tech savvy, that are elderly, it'd be good to, you know, video call them, let them see you, let them talk to their grandkids, other family members, things of that nature. You have Zoom, you have other different methods, Messenger, FaceTime, different things where you can communicate virtually. It's pretty interesting things that are good. You can also include your pooches, your little furry friends in on those calls as well to provide a little happiness to those who are not able to experience it because they're locked down and confined in homes and areas. You know what I'm saying? Check on people who have anxieties because these people do have feelings. Let them know that they are not machines. They are humans. They are allowed to have emotions. It's up to you, being a helper one to another, to help these people, to let them know that, hey, we could talk this out. I will help you. It doesn't matter. I don't just want to be a regular friend or a regular family member. I actually want to be of assistance and help to you. So that is very, very, very important. All right. Do your part, guys. Do your part. All right. Now, today, I was just chilling today. You know what I'm saying? The rain definitely had me in and out. I caught up on, well, I started the show today and I really, really enjoyed it. It's called Black as Fuck, or you see it Pound Black AF. I'm just saying what it's called. To those of you who are offended due to vulgar language, I'm sorry. It's the name of the show, so I'm just saying what it is. All right, but it's a very, very interesting show. You know, learned some stuff while watching it. Very entertaining. I like this type of freelance video shooting that's going on with the shows now is very interesting. They shooting things like where they look like docu series, but you know they really TV shows, but got kind of got that docu series aspect to it. Very, very cool. It kind of lets you into it. It makes it seem like it's very, very real. So you know it's pretty awesome. I liked it. And this is from the same guy who did. Blackish and Mixedish. This is the same guy. It's just in black, uh, black as fuck. I believe that is the guy who did the shows. You know what I'm saying? His name, from what I see, his name is Kenya Barris. I want to say that's his name, Kenya Barris. I'm gonna check real quick because I'm just kind of like, huh? I didn't do any checking to see if that was the actual guy, but I do believe that that is the young man who done it. Very interesting fellow. Um, you know, very, very interesting. Yes, that is him. He is the his name is Kenya Barris. So very interesting guy, very great. Whoa, this dude has a net worth of 75 million. So he has to be, had been doing very well with this one. So for him to go to Black as Fuck and actually make that a show that he's starring in that kind of gives a different aspect of Blackish and Mixedish. I think it's very great. Plus, he kind of resembles The Rock to me. You know, I thought that was very interesting. Like, dude, you look like The Rock. So, you know, it's very, very interesting. Um, he also has a book. It's called This Is Basic Shit. Uncensored thoughts from a black man about stuff we know and are shocked you don't. Um, Very interesting. Well, let's see. That was those shows that he have are, oh man, he has a nice repertoire, guys. He has under his belt Blackish, Black as Fuck, Grownish, Mixedish, Shaft, Girls Trip, Coming to America, Barbershop The Next Cut, America's Top Model, Little, The Witches, and A Boy, a Girl, and the Dream. This guy has a nice portfolio of black movies, all which are very, very interesting. Seems that The Witches is a show that's coming, and Coming to America is also something that's coming. I didn't know anything about The Witches. It's an upcoming American fantasy comedy film. Um, hmm, that is very interesting from what I see. I'm not sure how to feel about something titled The Witches, but I'm almost sure with it having a comedic aspect to it, it's going to be something that's very, very entertaining. He thinks kind of along the lines of Key and Peele when he does his stuff to me, you know. So if you haven't heard of him, check him out. He's a very entertaining guy. Uh, Reigns out of Los Angeles, California, seems to be 45 years old, so he's relatively young doing this. So that show, Black AF, it definitely has some nice cameos and stars that appear in there. We got Mike Epps that's up in there. We got Tyler Perry did a he did a appearance in there and a host of other actors. I know Kim Fields did a cameo in there. She's like his sister, and then I can't remember this lady's name, but she's a trans actor. But she is appeared in there to be his mother. But you know, she's like divorced from the dad, so she kind of watches the dad, who's also a well-known actor. He's has a young girlfriend. You know, very interesting, very very interesting. The kids are great actors in there. They did a great job. You know, just doing their lines. It's almost like they freestyled while they were doing their show. So it was very, very interesting to see these characters doing what they do best. Lots of respect and love goes out to them for keeping me entertained because it's hard to keep me entertained where I actually watch a whole docu series or type TV show. So that's very, very awesome. I also want to thank all my viewers that came in today. I see some new people that are in here. Thank you for chiming in. I really, really do appreciate it. I thank you all for coming in and checking your boy Raxx out right now. Sooner or later, maybe the wifey might step in and start being in here with me, or maybe my sons. I know this was something that we talked about doing before. So maybe one day when my sons start putting aside some time and want to actually get on and talk, and we can have nice discussions, I can have Rack City 314 that includes some of my family. You know what I'm saying? So you get an in-depth look of how we think about things, because all of us have different ways that we think, but we all respect each other's thoughts. All right. That's how a family is supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? And agree. Come to one accord as well. So you got to be able to respect everyone's views. This is only good ingredients for being a productive member of society, where you can get along with everybody else in the community. It's all about communing, people. It's all about communing. You hear what I'm talking about? So we're going to go ahead and get into some news for today. I'm not going to drain you out with a bunch of stuff, but I do have a lot of news articles that are interesting, but there are like some that I might say something about. Others I don't want to say anything about because it's like pointless. So British soldiers to get insect repellent as COVID-19 protection. They are feeling some type of way about maybe mosquitoes can transfer the coronavirus. I don't know anything about that because I did research on mosquitoes. I know it sounds weird, but I have done research on mosquitoes back when it was the dealing with the AIDS virus going around and other certain viruses that were going around. I did research on mosquitoes to see about how mosquitoes transmit. And basically, to put at ease to it, if a mosquito sucks your blood, the blood goes past their digestional tract. That's where it goes down to the back of them. Okay, they suck from the front in their face with a needle, with their little nose puncture needle, whatever that you want to call it is. But when it goes in, it goes right down. It's just like when you drink water, the water doesn't just stop right here in your throat or right here in your chest. It goes into your stomach and works its way on through. So and draws out nutrients and things of that nature. So with a mosquito, the blood just actually goes all the way through the digestional tract. So they're not able to stick you and give it back to you. You know what I'm saying? And they always constantly cleaning their little nostril nozzle, whatever you want to call it, needle on the nose. They are always cleaning that. So you know what I'm saying? The transmission of that through mosquitoes is very highly unlikely. So they're just trying to protect our soldiers. Our soldiers do need protecting. They are scared. They are seeing these things happening all over the world. So it's very important that we protect them. These are family members of ours. Okay, these are our family members. These are people from our country who are serving. You know what I'm saying? So we want them to be protected because anything can happen during this pandemic, and we have to rely on them, or else we'll be defending from our front porches and our house windows. All right, and this is nothing that nobody wants to do right now. We don't want to be getting off into that. So let's look out for them. Salute to everybody that's serving in the multiple armed forces. Thank you all. Keep doing what you guys are doing. We know a lot of you all like it. You know, some of you all are just laid off, laying down right now because the government have you not active. So to those of you that love doing it and want to get back out there, another salute to you all as well. We pretty sure you all are going to get back into action very, very soon, doing what you guys love to be doing. All right. All right. Another thing that I really, really want to jump to, because there's a person who, you know what, we're going to save this person for the TEKASHI Award for the day. We're going to come right back to that person because they definitely deserve the TEKASHI Award, and we're definitely going to give it to them today. All right. Trump expands his battle with the World Health Organization. Um, Pretty much his aides are working behind the scenes to sideline the World Health Organization on several new fronts as they seek to shift blame for the coronavirus pandemic to the world body, according to U.S. and foreign officials involved in the discussions. Last week, the president announced a 60-day hold on U.S. money to the WHO organization. But other steps by his top officials go beyond the temporary funding freezing, raising concerns about the permanent weakening of the organization amid a rapidly spreading virus. Pretty much what Donald Trump is saying is that he does not want to have any issues where there are people who are, he don't want to have any issues pretty much where we, the people, are giving up money to give out to this organization, and they pretty much let this virus get outside of the they let this virus get outside of the epicenter. Now they, just because Trump uh, disbanded a pandemic research group here in the United States does not mean that the World Health Organization was just subject to the United States. They still were employed by the world, so they are in control of things getting out and where they're supposed to stay in the epicenter and actually be contained. And they work on vaccines with scientists and things of that nature to try to neutralize these threats, these biological threats. So it doesn't matter, um, you know, that they need the money or want the money or stuff like that. They were still at work and had jobs to do. So for it to affect the world like it has led to China incurring some actual lawsuits. Missouri was the first state in the United States to put forth a lawsuit in order to try to get some money back, some finances back from what this virus has done to the communities in the United States, guys. So the one thing I definitely want to say is that we definitely need to hold someone or some group accountable for these things that have happened, and it's very, very important. I'm telling you all now. So kudos to Donald Trump for actually wanting an investigation launched into them about their conduct and the way they handled this virus. So hopefully we'll see some good stuff behind that. It would be very interesting to see. Okay, guys. British soldiers, uh, we want to send shots out to them because we know that any soldier that's doing what they're doing needs, as many supplies as they can. So they're trying to give them pretty much like insect repellent, pretty much mosquito spray. All right, that's what they're trying to give them, but they're trying to get uh, um, the actual main ingredient for that, and the main ingredient would be a citronol, something. I want to say that's what it is. It's like a let's see, lemon eucalyptus oil extract called citriodiol. All right, so that's like the main ingredient. So they're trying to get that extract because that would seemingly be I guess, the best thing to use. But for those of you who have things like pine needles or I mean pine trees in your yard, all you got to do is go get a bunch of those pine needles. Some of you just don't like the needles and stuff. I totally understand. You can cut, some twigs off of there. They got a bunch of the pine needles on them. On a hot day, you can start your fire, throw some of those in the fire, or you can just keep them around. You know what I'm saying? Just keep them around. A lot of them around. If you got trees in your yard, you should be okay. Because some of you might wonder, hey, I don't see a lot of mosquitoes where I am. If you got pine trees in your yard, that's why. Mosquitoes are, it's like a natural repellent, keeps them away. Notice where we live, about 4 houses down the street, that's where a lake is. So we're able to walk right to the end of our street and be right at the lake, very big lake in St. Louis County. I would tell you what lake it is, but I don't want any weird, crazy people to be trying to come to our lake and fish all of our fish out. We do not want that. All right, stay in your areas and fish, or go to the river or something like that. Um, our lakes are our lakes. All right, and all of our neighbors have pine trees and things of that nature that just surround the whole area. So mosquitoes are not really a horrible thing that we have to deal with over here. Right. And I wondered about that while I was over here, and I noticed that that's what it was. So to move right along, guys and ladies, Americans crowd the beaches and parks, sparking the coronavirus concerns. This was today. Many Americans are escaping their homes to enjoy spring weather at parks and beaches. Experts caution to avoid crowded areas, stay close to home, and keep 6 feet away from others. All right, or more. You know, some of us just want the 50 feet. That's what I want. Just give me 50 feet. Bag back, bag back. Give me 50 feet. Give me 50 feet. That's pretty much what it is. Bag back and give someone 50 feet. All right. That to me, that's the best thing. The song was made a long time ago, and it's pretty much should be something that's used right now. I'm gonna post that song, find a video, and I'm gonna post it because that's what people should do. Just give people 50 feet. You know what I'm saying? 6 feet. Give people 50 feet. All right. All right. What we're gonna talk about next, let's see. We're gonna go to, no, I don't want to talk about that. Blah blah. They're talking about privatizing U.S. national parks. Pretty much, the National Park Service shoulders a $12 billion deficit. Some argue private companies should step in. Could cause COVID-19 affect. This COVID-19 could affect that debate. Late last year, when a high profile proposal to privatize some services at national parks went public, the reaction came quickly. The Department of the Interior, which manages the federal land, well, most federal land, had formed a committee of recreation and industry representatives in 2017. In October 2019, the committee proposed privatizing campgrounds, limiting senior discounts, and adding expanded Wi-Fi, food trucks, and Amazon deliveries. The proposal was met with such resistance among environmental groups and the public that the department ended the committee less than 2 months later. This was merely a flashpoint in a controversial debate that's been bubbling for decades. The cash-strapped National Park Service is saddled With a nearly $12 billion maintenance backlog, the recreation industry has said it can manage some park services better and cheaper. And environmental groups call for close scrutiny privatization initiatives in order to maintain the original mission of conserving parks and their resources. Meanwhile, the coronavirus pandemic is disrupting discussion and might upend the debate altogether. Pretty much, um, so you understand what a national park is. Some of you might think that your local park is a national park. We talk about stuff like Yellowstone Park that has the Old Faithful Lodge, operated by a company owned by Zenterra, one of the oldest and largest park concessionaires. All right, and we need to be doing something to keep the environment, well, these parks going. They do inhabit a lot of wildlife that we don't want to go extinct, nor do we want any type of disruptions in those atmospheres to affect those areas. So we definitely want to do what we can. If you can donate or anything of that nature, small donations, large donations, whatever you may have, it might help these type of situations out to where they just don't dissipate altogether. All right, we don't need them to go anywhere. All right, African Americans, um, pretty much recount the anguish of COVID-19, creating a toxic storm of death and illness. The pandemic is devastating Black communities across the United States, revealing deadly legacy of inequality. Pretty much talked about this plenty of times, but just to reiterate it, in our neighborhoods, we don't have hospitals like that. All right. Especially in the areas where it's predominantly Black people in those areas. We have to rely on clinics in those areas, and that is a problem. Here in St. Louis, in North St. Louis, there's absolutely no hospital at all in that area. If you get harmed or hurt in North St. Louis, 9 times out of 10, by the time you make it to the hospital, you might end up just be fighting, really, really, really fighting for your life, right on the brink of death, or if not dead already. That's whether they take you to a county hospital or across town to the west side where Bourne's Hospital is. So most of our people in North St. Louis City are pretty much just you know, destined for failure when it comes down to being hurt. A lot of violence is in those areas, especially that area. So, you know, it's just not good. And that's like that in a lot of cities across the United States. You really don't start seeing hospitals until you hit the west side, which which is usually has the predominant it's mixed people, a mixture of races in those areas. South side usually has them, because there's a mixture on the south sides as well. Then once you start going east, usually in most people's cities, the east is like usually in another state. You have to cross the river or cross a state line, and you're usually east. Or if you're going uh, uh, let's see. I want to say this about it: east, west, north, you're doomed. South, you're good to an extent, because it's pretty close to the west, generally. So north side usually is kind of messed up. So in some areas, the west side's messed up. It just depends on where you are. But it's usually uh, predominantly are African Americans in those areas. You know what I'm saying? The percentage is very, very high. So the thing about it is that when you lack hospitals, a healthcare system in those areas, even doctors' offices, limited, very, very very, very limited in those areas. People gonna die. You know what I'm saying? They can't commute that far. You get shot, Lord forbid, or it takes on a serious illness or a heart attack or a stroke or something like that. Um, 15 minutes traveling somewhere, 20 minutes traveling somewhere is very, very detrimental. It's detrimental to you being alive. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to work on that. St. Louis is trying to do something different because there are some hospitals that have went non-existent that are coming back. Like Homer G. Phillips is coming back. They're building it down on, I want to say that's Jefferson Boulevard. They're bringing Homer G. Phillips back. It was once known as a hospital in the north side of St. Louis. but a lot of people were afraid to go there because it just wasn't a lot of doctors that were willing to go to that hospital really. Um, and then you didn't have a lot of African Americans that were really trying to be doctors, and, nurses, and health officials, and things of that nature. So people was essentially going to those hospitals and dying out. So they got a bad rep. So with them being gone for so long, but have they had a senior living facility and numerous other things that came about after that hospital that did pretty well. So they're making they're emerging back. They're coming back. So want to wish them good luck. Hopefully they don't see the same fate that they did the first time. Hopefully we can get some success out of there. A good buzz happen from it. Everything should be fine. All right. And those of you who are trying to get seen by doctors and things of that nature, get you a primary care physician. Get you some health insurance. You know what I'm saying? Get some stuff going on so that you can have some security for your health. That's very, very important right now. All right, guys? All right. Now we're going to move forward to, let's see what else we have here. I'm going to hit you all with something different besides that. I would have hit you with some information regarding the coronavirus, but I'm going to tell you this, just so you know. There are people that are still dying. There are people who are recovering. The case numbers are still, going up. They're not going up as fast, but they're still going. You know what I'm saying? Um, we want to still send positive vibes and energy to those who have lost or are fighting that virus. Um, we just want to do everything we can. Keep people's families in prayer. Keep them in prayer. Keep yourselves in prayer. Keep your families in prayer. Do keep your friends in prayer. Just do everything you can. Pray for your pets. Because it seems like the what pets is even catching the coronavirus right now. Which what I understand, they've been was catching this type of strain. Well, not the strain that we have, but they've been catching a type of coronavirus. But watch your pets. Make sure you're keeping an eye on them as well. If your pet is sick, then you might have to put your dog outside or your pet outside. Of course, take care of them and stuff. Water in the bowl, a lot of this stuff. It might hurt them a lot that you're doing that, but you might have to do a little something just to protect yourself. Your human life is very, very important. And I would rather you much be alive than, you know, knowing that your pet was sick. You kept your pet up under you, then you end up dying, but your pet end up fighting it off because they got vaccines for the pets. It's like, come on now, let's use your head. You know, God did give you dominion over all the beasts of the earth, the fowl in the air, and the creatures of the sea. All right. So that is one charge that God did give you. So you don't have to lay down your life for an animal. All right. It's just something that you just don't have to do. Um, I know some of you will probably be like, yeah, that's wrong to say, but it's true. It's the truth. And I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. Very, very important. All right. Now, the White House officials tried to move reporters at a briefing. Pretty much, Donald Trump has stated, well, they tried to remove reporters because there were a lot of reporters that were asking stupid questions, and Donald Trump was trying to be very transparent because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and he was trying to make sure he was doing daily briefings so that everybody knew what was going on as they got the information. He did not want other news media outlets reporting on things regarding this virus and attaching fake news to it, making people become scared and, things of that nature. So he tried to make sure that him and his office are the ones that are giving out all of this type of information so that you hear it from them in its accuracy and not from a third party. So these reporters, we can thank them for for asking stupid questions and not respecting the president while he's trying to appeal to America and make sure that we understand what's going on in real time. This has essentially caused for him to say that maybe that he should stop doing the daily briefings because he's getting tired of people asking, the stupid questions, trying to make him look dumb on the panel and things of that nature. I don't think it's cool. Nobody did this to a lot of the other presidents. Some did, but it's just not cool. We could respect that the man is at least trying to let us know things in real time. So if you can, Go add Donald Trump on your Twitter. And I'm not saying you got to go on there and brown nose and kiss his ass or nothing like that. I'm just saying that you can find out as much as you need to find out on his Twitter. You can hear him talking himself. If you want to ask questions or put stuff out there, President does read his Twitter. So, it's pretty interesting. Just, check it out. I'm not saying that means that you got to vote for him or anything like that. It's just saying that you want to be in tune with what's going on and hear from the commander in chief of the country. You can do what you got to do. Um, and I definitely agree with people that, the man is an idiot. Uh, it's he has his times. All right. He has his times. And, you know, he's known as a whistleblower. That's why he's not going to be accepted into a lot of private groups because of him being a whistleblower. But we all know that whistleblowers uh, tell all information that comes to them. If they feel like they don't like what they're reading or what they're hearing, they're going to expose it. So I can respect that the man exposes the truth as much as he can. Now, some of the things that he say are very stupid to say, uh, but we have to realize that Trump is a very sarcastic president, and he does not mind putting his sarcasm out there for you to hear. So you just kind of really got to know him and understand that he's very sarcastic, and these are things that he loves to do. And he to me he was funny before he became the president, and now that he is the president, he just has a broader stage to be funny on. And half the time, I just think he's funny. He just pretty entertaining when I'm listening to him. And just got to read in between the lines when you're dealing with Donald Trump. That's all it is, guys. Now, what we're going to move to is we're going to move to the TEKASHI Award recipient for the day. For those of you who don't know what the TEKASHI Award is, the TEKASHI Award is an award that I give to people. It's similar to the Donkey of the Day that's given by Charlemagne the God. And pretty much the TEKASHI Award is given to people who say or do idiotic things and get stupid results, or they do stupid things and get idiotic results. However, you would like to put it, I believe that this TEKASHI Award recipient definitely deserves it. He deserves it. So, what I am going to do is I'm going to summons the digital authorities right now to go and grab this guy. Definitely go get him, digital authorities. I give you the power to find this man. And the man that we are going after today, oh man, he deserves it big time. He deserves it big time. Now, we are going after Senator, a senator from Michigan State. His name is Dale Zorn. Dale Zorn. That's Zorn. Dale Zorn. Now, if you want to know why Dale Zorn is getting the TEKASHI Award today, I'm going to tell you why right now. But the first thing I need you to do is like, subscribe, share on the pages that you may be on. Got Facebook, got YouTube. Whenever you get time, you need to like, share, and you need to hit the notification bell. Um, and I'm on YouTube and Facebook. So do whatever you have to do. I appreciate it. It definitely helps me out. You know what I'm saying? So Dale Zorn initially defended his actions, saying that it was part of our history, but eventually apologized after widespread outrage. Why? Why did he apologize? Why did he apologize? Why? 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 I'm going to tell you why. All right. The Republican politician in Michigan had apologized after wearing a face mask that appeared to depict the Confederate flag, an image offensive to many Americans as a symbol of racism and slavery. The Michigan State Senator Dale Zorn wore the mask during a Senate vote. During the Senate vote, he was amongst his peers. All right. He did this at a Senate vote. All right. At the state capitol in Lansing on Friday. He initially defended his actions, saying, and I quote, his wife had made the mask and that it depicted the flag of Tennessee or Kentucky. He didn't even know which flag it depicts. He don't even know who it depicts. I've seen people in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Georgia that would rock the Confederate flag. But you have some that'll rock the all black Confederate flag. The white guys are the ones that rock the flag that he has, which is the one that a lot of people had an issue with. I just have an issue with the flag, period, whether it's red, white, and blue or black and white. I just don't care. I'm against the flag, period, for what it stands for in the era that it was in. All right. Um, he told his wife it probably would raise some eyebrows. Right there, he already knew before he even wore it that it would cause a type of controversy, but he wore it anyway. And he said, but it was not a Confederate flag. Just because it is scrunched up into a mask and all that, people can still see overall what the mask is that he had on his face. All right. He went on to add, even if it was the Confederate flag, which it was, we should be talking about, we should be talking and teaching our national history in schools. And that's part of our national history. And it's something we can't just throw away because it is part of our history. No. All right. We do not want to be talking about any of that in the school system anymore. All right. History, when it comes down to slavery and things of that nature, I feel that we should just get past all of this when it comes down to our schooling. Now, I feel that if you want to learn about American history, then you should take up American history class. You should take up the class as something that you would like to learn about, possibly aiding into what you would want to be career wise, but it just being forced on you to be taught in school, no, I just don't agree with it. Um, it's just something that just shouldn't be done. It should be your choice. And I honestly think that it should be something that is taught once you hit high school, maybe the last 2 years when there's a lot of when there's growth that has been done. You're about 17, 18 years old, you're able to handle and understand that before you, like once you graduate, you will be going out to dealing with different type of people who have different opinions and things of that nature in the world. That is something that you can know where it stemmed from, where it came from. And in college, just something that aids in, a job profession that you might want to jump into. You might want to be, a history teacher or something like that. But it should definitely be something that, it should be taught to the older young adults so that they can better cope with the world that they're going to be going into, and understand the sensitivity behind those things. And when you display racist tendencies or things that you may have learned from your parents as a child while you're going through primary, elementary, middle school teachings and things of that nature, it should be something that is corrected. That behavior should be corrected effectively and even with consequences behind it, because it should be for parents to basically teach their kids that this type of behavior is not acceptable while they're learning that lesson as well, knowing that things that they teach their kids could get their kids in trouble and look bad upon them. You're just not going to teach your kids how to, at young ages, you're not going to teach your kids how to have sex. You're going to tell them how babies are made and things of that nature. But if you're teaching them how to have sex, then you may run into a whole different issue with a 7 or 8 year old in school. With a little girl, they may like us, touching or rubbing or something like that and get them in a lot of trouble. So it's like you want to be precautious on what you're teaching these kids, because these kids are learning things online. They're seeing things. You have to make sure you're monitoring your kids, all that type of stuff, because you have Mr. Idiot, Senator Dale Zorn, who obviously is trying to get something started up there in Michigan. And we all know that there's a lot of races up there in Michigan and Detroit, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So his motives does not, well, to me, his motives of wearing that mask align with the type of history that that state has with KKK members and things of that nature. That's one of the main headquarters up there in Detroit, Michigan. So, you know, besides Indiana, but that's like a major place up there when it comes down to KKK members. So, you know, he can't make up any type of excuses to excuse him wearing that mask when he had knowledge before he even wore it that it could cause issues. He wanted to cause those issues. So, Mr. Dale Zorn, you idiot, you big bottle of ranch dressing with no ranch. You're such an idiot. You're so crazy, it doesn't even make sense. What needs to happen is that all of the citizens of the United States need to take a needle and thread and take the American flag, a big American flag, a humongous one, the biggest one they can make, and we need to take it and craft it into the biggest, tallest dunce hat that can ever be made by unified Americans. And we need the, and you know what a dunce hat is. It looks almost like a birthday hat, but very, very tall. We need to take that hat, make it, and we need to attach it to the front of a train. We need to take you and lay you on a table on the tracks. And we need to let that train drive as fast as it can possibly drive. And it needs to take that hat and crush it right onto your head so that it's permanently stuck on your fat head. It looks like a donkey's ass. And it just needs to be stuck right on your head. And then they need to take you, lift you by, what are we going to use? Eagles. We need to find the biggest eagles that our country had. And they need to take those eagles and let them grab you by your shoulders and fly you high into the air, on the tallest flagpole that we can find. And those eagles need to just drop. So you land right on that pole. So you just be stuck up there so that we can see you and know where you are at all times. We need to see how stupid you look. We need to know where you are at all times. Honestly, you don't even need to be the senator of Michigan anymore. They need to strip you of that. I think when senators and governors and people of political power do racist things, they need to be immediately stripped of their title. You represent the people of your state, and in no way did they choose for you to be in your position and do um, racist question things. Like your motives are very, very questionable. We do not need to have you in the positions that you are in. All right, and accompanied by that flagpole going right up you with that beautiful dunce hat that everyone made, and those majestic birds that flew you all the way up there to the top of that pole. And hopefully that pole has the 5G antenna on the inside, because you need all the radiation possible that just needs to radiate through your body. All right. Now, whatever it does to you is your business, just like wearing that mask was your business, but everybody else got to see it. And you being on that pole with the dunce hat is your business, but everybody needs to see you up there. We need to know where you at all times. And it also needs to be a sound. Let me see. You should, it needs to be a sound. So we know when you're about to do something stupid, or we know that you're coming. And I think you're going to get the same TEKASHI Award recipient sound that we give to every person who does something completely stupid and gets idiotic results. Your face is ugly, your head is weird, and your eyes just look like some very small marbles that some kid lost in the dirt and they just threw them in your head, all right? And the sound that we need to hear when you're coming is the foghorn sound. We just need to hear it. You get it third time too. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Dale Zorn, for being our TEKASHI Award winner for the day. You are very idiotic. And I hope everybody does research so they can know who you are. And they need to flood your inbox with outrage and just unacceptable. What you did was unacceptable. All right, it was unacceptable. All right. Now for that, I would like to thank everybody who tuned in, that came and chilled with your boy Raxx for today. I definitely appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You are wonderful individuals. I definitely thank you all. I salute you all for both sides. There we go. We salute y'all. Yep, yep, yep. Eat good. Eat your vegetables. Have plenty of vitamins that you need for the day. Drink plenty of water. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you all on Monday. For tomorrow, if you guys want to join, watch your spiritual leaders or anything of that nature, you can check out any of your spiritual leaders. A lot of them are doing Facebook podcasts from the churches and things of that nature to help, in this curbing this virus, because a lot of them are looking out for their congregations. They want them to be completely healthy. All right, so check out your spiritual leaders, guys. Don't forget, excuse me, don't forget to give offerings if you can. If you can tithe, still tithe. A lot of these churches have different ways that you can pay to help out your churches. Be a blessing, because a lot of churches are doing a lot of backdoor giving and helping other people out during this tough time. So I thank you all for tuning in. You all have a magnificent night. Peace out. This was your boy Raxx McLeod coming at you. I definitely thank you all and have a very, very nice night. Take it easy, my friends.